Welcome to Module 1, Lesson 6, Account Review. This is the first step of the 8-part Google Ads audit checklist. Let's open up our audit checklist template and get started. All right, so we're diving here into the audit checklist. Again, if you don't have it, check it out in the description below or in your workbook. But we're going to open up the audit checklist and we're going to make a copy of this for a working doc. And I'm going to actually audit a real client account that we just started with so we can see how they're doing. And I always tell clients the old carpenter reference, you got to measure twice, cut once. And whenever you're inheriting a new Google Ad account, you should always start off with an audit. So I'm just going to call this example client because for the sake of privacy, obviously I can't show you guys their name and stuff like that. This is sensitive information, but I'm just going to click file, make a copy, and now I have my own version of this checklist document here. So we're going to close these other ones out. And all right, let's dive into it. So account review, this is pretty straightforward. So number one is our billing information up to date? So let's see here. We're going to come into the client's account. We're just going to do a quick check here. If we go to billing and you can go under settings, just make sure you don't see anything flagging. Usually Google have like a banner around like some sort of issue around payment. Just you want to make sure you can just, what I do is I look at the payment method on file. So I'll look at the card on file. And then I'll just send a note to the client, or if you're internal, you can send a note to whoever internally is responsible for the card on file. And I'll just ask them like, hey, does this make sense? Is this still the right card? And it's really as simple as that. All right, so our billing information is correct. It's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to mark this complete here, 100%. Moving on, is our time zone correct? So this one is really annoying because Google allows you to set the time zone once you create the account, and to be able to change the time zone, you're gonna have to reach out to Google support. I've heard stories of people being able to change the time zone when they've reached out to support, other times that they're not able to. You'll have to see for yourself. To reach out to support, you can just click help. And then from here, just scroll down and there's this little button that says contact us, and then you can get in contact with Google support. But to see your account settings, just come over here to settings, account settings. And then this is where you can see all your account settings here. So we'll come back to this in a second, but here under time zone, this is where you can see the time zone of the account. So with that, they are in Pacific time, which is good. And this is important because if you're setting an ad schedule, if you only want your ads to show, let's say Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., you want it to be 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. based on your time zone. If you have this, let's say as Eastern time, but you're thinking it's 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific, that's going to cause issues because Eastern time is 3 hours ahead of Pacific. So just something to be mindful of. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this one complete. So we're good there. Next up, payment details up to date. So our payment details up to date. So we already got that one covered. It's kind of like 2 for 1 there. So we can move on. Do you have auto tagging turned on? So auto tagging is really important because it automatically tags your URL with the appropriate parameters so that all of the parameters are attached to the URL so that you're able to track everything from a lead routing and reporting perspective. So simple as just make sure this is on and it's good to go. So we're going to mark that complete. Okay, did you turn off ad suggestions? So if you've ever had like you go into your Google Ad account and then you notice a bunch of changes happened without you applying them, you can actually go into the change history of your account and see what those changes were. But let me just show you how to turn them off. So if you go here to recommendations and under recommendations, you click auto apply, you're going to want to make sure you turn off all of the recommendations that are not that basically are not relevant, that you don't want. I personally like to turn them all off, so I can see this client has a few of them on right now. So I might turn off some of them, but basically you can select them all, and then you can deselect, select all, deselect, click save, and then now you don't have to worry about it. You don't have any changes being made on Google's part without your knowledge or consent. So let's go ahead and mark that complete. Okay, is your conversion tracking still working accurately? This is really important. So if your conversion tracking is not working accurately, you need to know. The way you can figure it out is if you go to conversions, just take a look at your different conversion actions that you've set up, and you're going to want to make sure you actually see activity. So if you don't see any activity and you've been running Google Ad campaigns, so in the case of this client, they've been running Google Ad campaigns, we're auditing their account, and I can see activity from their conversion events. So that tells me that this looks good. I see demo requests, platforms. So all their primary conversion actions that they want to track have activity, and the status is active, which is good. Anything that says needs attention, you can look into it and then see what's going on in QA and make sure that that's tracking properly. So we're good there. And we're going to mark that complete. And then the last one is, do you have auto tagging turned on? Which this is actually a duplicate. So I'm going to delete this. So no worries there. And we're good to go. So just like that, you can go through your account review and make sure you have all of these different steps applied. Your action item for this lesson is to review your account settings and mark each completed step within the checklist template. I hope you received a ton of value so far. Please share AdConversion with your colleagues or leave us a testimonial. We appreciate your help. See you in the next one.